Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to talk about something that's very underappreciated and undervalued in terms of recovery, but in terms of your overall life and quality of life and just the benefits I guess that it will offer you. And that's going to be your breathing and breathing exercises, breathing techniques, because I think most people talk about how anxiety sufferers just need to breathe, and when you're having a panic attack, just breathe and go into like some deep breathing, which absolutely was horrible for me, because if I was going into a panic attack and I was trying to focus on my breathing and just kind of, I think like breathing and meditation is phenomenal for life and gives you like great benefits and just kind of calming you down and teaching you to just kind of breathe and relax and just kind of slow things down. Because even as I'm talking right now, I can tell that I tend to talk fast and I don't breathe and slow myself down. So take note of that, even just from me kind of talking to you. It's just something that not many people practice, and many people are mouth breathers and chest breathers and not nasal breathers, which is the right way to breathe. So I ask everybody to pay attention for 24 hours, just how you're breathing and where you're breathing from. Because for the longest time with me, when I started to realize it, I was like, oh damn, I'm a shallow breather. Even when I'm trying to breathe through my nose, I'm breathing through my chest, if that makes sense. So if you're sitting there, you can put your hand on your belly, on your stomach, and practice breathing through your nose and having your stomach expand and then contract, as opposed to what most people probably do, which is to breathe through the mouth, take shallower breaths, or they're breathing through their chest. So they're breathing through the mouth and then breathing through their chest, and they're shallow breaths. They're not deep breaths, which is not promoting your rest and digest aspect of your nervous system. It's just promoting going more into like the fight or flight. So that's something that everybody can practice. And I would say there's also a book that was written that kind of goes more in depth about the powers of breathing and the correct ways of breathing. And it follows somebody who did different experiments. I think the book's actually called Breathe, but I'm not 1,000% sure. But it was a very good. It was a very good book, and it had a lot of interesting things there about how the ancient cultures and especially I think the ancient Chinese were very big into breathing, and some cultures are still like that. Like they think it's maybe not disrespectful, but they think it's unhealthy for somebody who is technically a mouth breather, because they believe that when you breathe through your mouth, you just invite disease and like deterioration over time. And I see no reason why mental health would not be included in that. But they were doing experiments about how they plugged up their nose. It was multiple people, how they plugged up their nasal passages for a couple of weeks, and everything was done through mouth breathing. And they found like it was just, the results were kind of staggering. Like the one man developed sleep apnea, and the overall sleep quality was much, much worse. And their just outlook, they became more depressed. It's just really interesting. So, you know, if anybody's open to looking into that or reading that book, like I think it would do wonders for them. Even if you just Google the Cliff's Notes versions of it and see like the results of the experiments, like I think it would make sense to people in terms of why the breathing and all these lifestyle habits and things lead to a deterioration in mental health and overall, you know, quality of life issues. So I would advise to, number one, go through a day, monitor how you're breathing, and then it's almost essentially going to be something that you have to monitor in terms of trying to change the way that you breathe, breathing through your nose, putting your hand on your belly, making sure you're taking longer, deeper breaths. And like it's a process for a little bit too, because even for me, like when I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, I had to wear the machine. Like I was waking up in the middle of the night because my body wanted to breathe through the mouth, because it's just what I was used to. So you just, like, I had to go through like a brief adjustment period in terms of just breathing through my nose and just doing nasal breathing, because it was like a little bit foreign, and especially when you're in fight or flight a lot, it becomes problematic. So do that, and then I would do breathing techniques, not when you're incredibly anxious, but when you're actually more resting, and do that a couple of times a day. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, because I know that when you are deeper in an anxiety kind of cycle, it's hard to just be alone with yourself and just do some breathing, because you tend to focus into your body and feel certain symptoms and sensations, and that's fine in the beginning. So do it for, a minute, 2 minutes, and build your way up and work your way through that. Eventually getting to the point where you can just take a 5-minute break, 2 to 3 times a day, and do that kind of breathing technique. I would breathe in and inhale through the nose for 4 or 5 seconds. Maybe hold it for a second or so, and then exhale through the nose for like 6 seconds, making sure that your exhale is longer than your inhale. And that should kind of activate your rest and digest version of the nervous system, and kind of help overall in time bring you back down to a better baseline, which should in time again help with, some people with heart rate fears. It should just kind of help them calm their body down. And that's something that I'm trying to even still incorporate and make a lifestyle change and make a new life habit out of that, because I just think it's nothing but beneficial. And I think that everybody should add that into the, part of their repertoire, and just kind of use that to maintain healthy kind of balances and just a better, more balanced lifestyle. And I think that breathing is something that people only talk about to breathe through panic attacks and breathe through anxiety attacks, but not as a more so overall like Tai Chi version of a lifestyle, which is just to kind of focus on breath work and to just overall lead to a healthier lifestyle. So I think that that's something that could help 90+% of people and get them to a better place. And just do it. Let me know what happens in the comments down below. Just try it for a week and let me know what happens. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you very much. Take care.